Hello everyone, this is John Borelli. I am the lead programmer with the Plan B Club, and I am submitting an offering of a product I call StageCoach. It is a new way to manage opportunities and overcomes a lot of the pitfalls in the current UI. Um, so that being said, the opportunity record creation can be done by tags. Um, Definitions are created within StageCoach, and a tag is assigned to that definition, and thereby creating the tag when a tag is raised. Custom dynamic naming, which you cannot do with the opportunity widget. Multiple opportunities on a single contact. Currently, it's difficult to manage them. You don't know which opportunity you're raising a stage for or moving a stage for. This solves for that. Moving stages on a single opportunity with ease within Campaign Builder. Raise the tag, it moves a stage to a specific opportunity that's defined in StageCoach. And of course, I'll illustrate that here in a moment. Targeted win-loss reasons, big question asked on the forums. Why can't I be able to have a way to target market, follow-up market for losses, or follow-up for win, for wow? It's an opportunity to be able to target your marketing to both conditions. And opportunities actually are, as a record, forget the naming, forget that opportunities specifically refer to marketing. If you look at it purely as information, opportunity records in the database themselves, it really represents a process that has steps or stages. So there are other things you can use opportunities for. Not the biggest selling point, but certainly there are some conditions and some situations where you might want to do that. So just to give you a frame of reference as I walk through the app, I'll show you some screenshots and then we'll get to it. As I said, assigning a tag in StageCoach, marketing opportunity create in this case, that will create the opportunity. This is the dynamic naming and template definition right now. There are a lot of features I'd like to add. For example, when it specifies the app that you're using at the moment, I might have a drop down, and I would like to have in-app way to create tags, whether it be by you choosing some settings that allow automatic naming of tags, or by manually creating tags from within here. That would make it a lot easier. But for now, to show the function of OAuth and REST application, these are some general fields used to create a template that will later be used by the tag that gets raised, in this case, marketing opportunity create. Then you can have more than one opportunity on a contact, but you cannot manage them very easily unless you have a way to specifically say this event of moving a stage belongs to this opportunity that was created with this template, which is what StageCoach essentially is. And then moving stages within Campaign Builder, really big deal. Thing is we all get that we want to promote the interaction and the personal relationship with customers, and that principle, that sentiment is agreed, I think, by the community agrees with that. But the problem is there are many industries that is not realistic. You could need to do follow-up and follow stages for marketing based on large-scale shopping cart, or in the case of one client we had in the real estate industry, they ended up having to create multiple contacts with the same email, same name. The only difference is the first name had the property they visited. Each time they visited a property, they had the property they visited tacked onto the end of the first name. Very inefficient. That's a nice way of putting it. It created a huge mess, and we had to help them clean some of it up, and there was no reporting, of course, because you can't silo based on that kind of configuration. Win-loss reasons, for obvious reasons, it would be nice to be able to say cost is too high, went to a competitor, too expensive, same two reasons. Product lacks something about it, I need a feature, but you don't have it. Or with a win, same thing. They love the price. Is our price too low, or is it just right and it's causing people to want to buy? What's the deal? These are important to be able to market by. It's important to be able to get to target people for testimonies. It's important to be able to target people for the proper follow-up and proper education for whatever it is that they purchased or they're doing. And again, you can have more than just marketing opportunities. In the case of marketing, it makes sense, but you could have fulfillment. You could use opportunity records in stages to do fulfillment for specific products or internal workflow for your agents. There's a number of myriad of options there. If it's just leveraged with a new understanding. We have to, if we want to do that, then we have to look beyond the idea of opportunities and see it as a process management, which it is. It just specifically applies to Infusionsoft and marketing in the way it does. So that being said, I am going to use my sandbox app, which is YO243. Okay. And I have demonstration campaign, and we are going to go through and look at the results of actions. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show the current condition of YO243. YO243, I will allow that. And here we are, listing scored hook subscriptions, so that we can see the process, how it happens. You can see that there are none currently defined. So now if I go back to the campaign, I provided a link to open this up with, just make it easier. This is StageCoach. You come in, you log in. In this case, I am using the login ID of Einstein, or Albert at Einstein.com. And essentially what you do is, and I'll delete this to show the process. What you do with this is you create definitions. You first authorize your apps that you want to work with. You create the definitions that you're going to use for opportunity records, and then you define the tags that are going to move stages for that specific opportunity. So I'm going to reauthorize YO243. Come on. Of course, it's going to take a while now. Okay, and just to show, we're going to try this again. And now you can see a webhook has been returned, verified and all. So information from YO243, whenever a tag is raised, will be forwarded to this address. I know what app it came from because when I register the hook, I also tell it to send me back this parameter value pair. So that being the case, let's go through this. Essentially, a simplified version of campaigning using tags for opportunities and stage moves and whatnot. Somebody comes into the campaign, we remove the exit tag so they can pull out of the sequence. First thing that happens is we have a marketing opportunity create. So we're creating the opportunity record based on the tag being raised. There's a 1 minute delay, posterity, all that good stuff, good form. And now we move a stage, marketing opportunity to prospect. Now we want to go to prospect, and then of course what happens after that is to researching. That can be a stage, and this pulls them out. So if they come out, then they are of course going to go to LTN. And if they go to LTN but they purchase, they're going to go here. Or if they're in here and they purchase, they're going to go here. Then we have fulfillment, wow. And we got the same thing going on, only in this case they get moved to the client stage. The client stage, we can do anything from here, from follow-up to providing educational material for whatever they purchased or whatever service they're doing, informational stuff, etc. And essentially that's the gist of it. It's that simple. We can't continue to ask people with thousands of clients to move opportunities. That's the reason why they're not getting used in the first place, is because one, they're not understood. People do not know that you can tie your expenses, your lead sources and expenses to opportunities and your revenue to opportunities and get an ROI report. They have no idea. Nobody's connecting the dots, which is something we're going to build onto this application after we get some of the other features going. So to illustrate this happening, the contact I'm going to use is going to be this accounts@apiroi.net. That will be my use case. As you can see, there are no opportunity records right now. And I'm going to use the HTTP posts. StageCoach has several HTTP posts that allow you to, one, get immediate results rather than waiting the 5 minutes, which is why I'm using them right now instead of the tags. But anybody watching this video will fully recognize that anything I can post to and make happen, we can make happen with REST hooks and tag management and the same process that the post uses. So I think it's safe to say that we're illustrating the same thing happening. So in this case, opportunity create. Now this is a template ID. In this case, with this particular post type, it asks for a template ID, the app name, and the email. Now this, in some post types, it's by contact ID from Infusionsoft, and the template won't even be necessary, because there are some conditions that the values are already known. In the case of using tags, the assignment is specific to the template ID. That won't have to be worried about. The email is already known because that's already associated with the account, which was associated with who created the template ID. The app is the only thing needed, and as I showed you in the REST hook, with the REST hook, that it's passed. Each REST hook is registered with, and I've already tested this out, each REST hook is tested with app equals and the app name. So all the information is necessary tied to a single tag being raised, which is really the point, and that's how easy it is. So if I run a test, this is hard-coded. Obviously merge codes can be used, but running a test, this is going to be a YO243 marketing opportunity. That's what the template defines for it. And there we go, YO243 marketing, and it has these merge fields. I didn't have time to get to them. They're not hard to do, of course, but I wanted to show a placeholder and get this in on time before a 5 o'clock deadline. So you can see that it's in the lead stage. We're going to illustrate with the second HTTP post how the opportunity record can be moved in the stages. So we go back here and come back out, and the second example is going to be, and again we're hard coding just for illustrative purposes, so 97 is the number, and this is the win stage, which again a tag will be assigned, and it's assigned to the opportunity record by the template ID, and the stage ID will be known because you'll select that when you assign the tag. So you raise a tag in a campaign and it does exactly the same thing this does. So again, we run it. There we go. We'll refresh this. And we will be in the win stage. There we go. It is that simple. You make your definitions, you assign your tags, and then you just start raising tags, and guess what happens? Your opportunities are managed in whatever way you want, right in Campaign Builder, saving you a ton of overhead and employment time and hours and work hours or labor hours for people to change opportunities and whatnot. Now, that being said, there are a lot of features I really would like to add to this, and I realize that there's a lot to do. So the opportunities can be created very simply. This is a market. I can say marketing. I can pick merge fields, and it's automatically generated. I can put in notes, and I can select whatever tag that the app has. And as I said, I want to have a automatic tag creation or possible manual override. I click save. It saves the template. I go in here, and after a brief moment, I say, okay, this is what the template I just created. I want to move it into Prospect using this tag right here. Anytime that tag is raised inside a campaign, the opportunity record created with this template is moved to this stage based on this tag being raised. Click assign, and there you go. That's all there is to it. And you can have more than one app assigned. I'll go ahead and authorize BC234 as soon as I find it. There we go. This is our personal app for the business. And once again, so now you can have default apps. You can set the default apps. You can save your profile. I would like to be able to add to this, of course, being able to list, edit, and delete template definitions, as well as stage move definitions. And that's something that still needs to be added, but the functionality, everything in here uses REST, except for the responding to win-loss reasons. I had to use the get app settings from the API for that one part. All the contact information, all the opportunity information, all the tag information is managed with REST. And there are other features and pluses, like I think I mentioned the drop-down box here that would allow you to select from whatever list of apps you have authorized. That way it'd be a little quicker. Just different things like that. But you can see the process. I hope it helps. I hope it's clear. Any questions, feel free to email me at john@theplanbclub.com, and I would be more than happy to discuss it further. Thanks.